Now that's it for sport tonight. Coming up after the break, Gavin Morris has all your local weather details.
To finance, markets closed higher. The All Ords up 41 points. Our dollar is steady, buying 76.68 US cents. Now Gavin Morris joins us with a look at the weather. And Gav, it's nice to have some normality returning to the region.
R32, now available in Dakin ducted systems. A next-generation refrigerant with a substantially lower impact on the environment. Ensure your next ducted system is a Dakin for pure comfort. Dakin.
Thank you, Vanessa. It certainly is. We've got some lovely relief on our hands, but it's going to be short-lived. The heat is going to roll back in. The good news, though, it won't be as severe as what we experienced across the weekend. Cooler temperatures across the board at the moment, and we picked up a little bit of rain. The falls generally light, 1 to 5 millimetres throughout the southeast corner of New South Wales and the ACT, generally 1 or 2 millimetres. All of the big falls continue across the northern tropics and in the west. Record-breaking summer rain continues throughout those regions, breaking up during today. Some big storms across the northern tropics. A few storms around northern New South Wales and southern Queensland this afternoon. That is the cooler air finally clearing the heat across New South Wales and into southern Queensland. Nice to see some speckled cloud formation on the satellite. That signifies cool air. We haven't had much of that at all so far this season. Taking a look at the synoptic chart for tomorrow, it's a big high sliding across the southeast, generating a southeasterly influence along the entire coast. The better falls are going to be further north, clearing locally tomorrow morning. The storms continue across the tropics as it all eases in the west, but overcast and cooler for Perth. Adelaide fairly comfortable, still hot in the centre. Very cool right throughout the southeast, and for Sydney enjoying some relief as well. And Brisbane also expected to remain in the 20s for tomorrow. On the thermos scale and the forecast winds, the southerlies bending around to the southeast, and that's forced back that big pool of heat. Good news, you can see cooling down nicely again tomorrow night across the Alpine districts and the tablelands and the coast as well. Now we're going to see some morning drizzle patches and showers, all of that mostly clearing, burning off to the north. This is mostly cumulus cloud formation further south, so it is going to be predominantly fine right throughout the Alpine areas, over the Monaro, the tablelands, along the coast. Temperatures only in the low to mid-20s, partly cloudy skies, all fine off to the south coast. All of that shower activity is for the morning session burning off. Locally throughout the ACT, a much cooler night on the way, down to about 12 degrees, looking fairly comfortable, maxing out in the high 20s. Some big waves are on the way for board riders tomorrow. It is going to be chunky, some strong wind warnings still in place, up to 3 metres. Southern Point breaks for surfers, taking that on. You've got a high tide at about 11:30, so the low there at 5:15 tomorrow morning. Sun will be up at 6:30 and down just before 8. Looking ahead for Canberra, there's the heat back into the mid-30s. At least it's not into the 40s. Then we've got a decent system coming through. This one is set to produce some decent rain across much of New South Wales, so hopefully that one will come off. We'll keep an eye on that as the week rolls on. Similar forecast for the tablelands, heating up and the change comes through, which could affect the weekend forecast along the coast. Cooler southeasterly winds, heating up, sun's out in full force on Thursday and Friday, and then the change pushing through for the up and coming weekend. Nice and cool for the south coast as well, but back up and over 30 degrees in the coming days. So enjoy the cooler conditions because there is some heat set to return across the region in the coming days.
Thanks, Gav. We'll sleep well tonight. And that's 9 News for this Monday. I'm Vanessa. Good night.